Right, so for our next YouTube video, we thought we'd tackle another obstacle that a lot of people face just through like some of the research we've done. Okay, and one of the biggest things that affects people is their own body confidence. People are really quick to put themselves down, bury themselves, so to speak. So we like to, and that can have like massive effects on anything to do with health and fitness. So we want to give you a few tips that we think will help you drastically improve your body confidence.
We do, yeah. So we just also find people even just struggling to get to the gym because they're fearful of what people think of them, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, a few tips. Our first one is basically talking about social media. Funnily enough, we're now on YouTube and we're now complaining about social media, but so basically it's all about comparison being the thief of joy. So with social media, it has a hell of a lot to answer for in terms of the fact that what you see on your screen on Instagram and what you see on Facebook, it tends to be just like a snapshot of someone's life. So it's like a highlight of what's going on in their day. But we look at that and think, oh, they've got the perfect life, so I want to be like that. But you don't actually see what's going on the rest of the time.
Yeah, you don't see them hungover.
Yeah, you don't see all the crap. I mean, the people you're following, we're all following some of these fitness professionals on Instagram and Facebook, and the people we look up to, these influencers and stuff like that, just like me and Phil. Anyway, proper ones. So we look at them and we think, oh, we'd love to be like them. They've all got ripped six packs, they've all got fabulous glutes, and they tend to be those people up there, the genetically gifted 1% of the population, where yeah, it'd be fabulous to look like them, but we can't all achieve that. They're literally spending their lives working on that with nothing else to do. So
it's not just image though either, in terms of like your physical appearance. You see a lot of people sort of like abroad all the time, taking selfies around like the Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum, they're in Bali. A lot of them seem to go to Bali.
Yeah.
And now they say, oh, you want to live this sort of lifestyle, you need to do the sort of things that I do. And it's a bit of a scam to get you involved into whatever product they're trying to sell. It's not really indicative of like what life is like really, a lot of the time.
No, not for Joe Public.
No.
So what we're saying from this is basically compare yourself to the last week's, last year's, last month's version of you. Take a picture of yourself now, take measurements, and compare yourself to where you were a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a year ago, rather than comparing yourself to people, this unattainable image that we're all trying to achieve. And please remember that genetics are a factor in this. So you get dealt a hand when you're born of your genetics, and you can make a better version of that, and that's what you want to be doing, not focusing on someone's genetics that are just completely unachievable.
One more thing I'd just add to that is, if you're following someone on social media and watching them and tracking their stories and looking at their Instagram makes you feel rubbish about yourself, just stop following them.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the first point of our 5 tips. Second point?
This focuses on sort of control, okay? Focus on the things that you can control and try not to worry about stuff that you can't, okay? Focusing your energy, your time on stuff that you can't control, it can be effectively like wasting your time, wasting your energy. You can't do anything about it, so why are you stressing about it?
Yeah, that's so true.
One of the examples on here is if you're injured, focus on the body parts that you can train, okay? So if someone's injured, they get really down and it's like, oh, I can't get to the gym because I've hurt my shoulder. Yeah. And then that starts off this cycle where they can't get to the gym.
Whereas there's all those other body parts you can focus on.
Yeah, if you hurt your arm, you've got another arm that you can definitely work. Yeah. You've got your legs, okay? You've got your abs. There's all sorts you can do to work around it. There's no point in beating yourself up and getting yourself down, and then it just leading, like I was saying, into this sort of like spiral out of control. You can't get to the gym. Because you can't get to the gym, you don't see any point in following your regular nutrition, your regular eating habits, so they go out the window. You start eating crap. Because you're eating crap, you feel crap. You spend longer eating crap, you start to look a bit like crap, unfortunately.
Yeah, just because of this one injury.
Just of one injury.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time as well, like going back to like the social media thing of people comparing themselves to others. Like, you get a lot of men and women comparing themselves to, celebrities. They're like, oh, I want a bum like Kim Kardashian, or I want really long skinny legs, and they've got little short legs.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't, what, you're going to detach your legs?
Well,
Like,
like this, yeah.
this guy, I mean, he's looking for a new face. He's looking for a new head, full stop. Do you know what I mean? You just, be realistic. You know, you are born with your body shape. You cannot do massive amounts about it.
No.
Like, just, Mel said before, just focus on being the best that you can be. Okay, nothing more than that. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Those two sides are quite sort of connected in that way. Next one is all down to support network. So it says here, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you deal with it. Most of the time you can't affect what happens to you, but you can affect how you react to things. So that's really key for a lot of people. Just get out there and do it. Don't worry about what might happen. Just do what you got to do. Get to the gym, look after yourself, and be on your best you.
That again comes back to control, like you were saying before. Like 10% of what happens to you, right? You can't deal with what happens to you a lot of the time, but you can deal with how you react to that situation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this slide, the support network, because you'll all have heard a few of these things. If in your support network you've got people who maybe don't encourage you to come to the gym or encourage you to lead a healthy life, you might have heard a few of these comments. You'll end up looking like a man, you'll start to look skinny, oh, you're so boring now, you never come out anymore, or you're becoming obsessed, it's not healthy. They're from people who are envious, I would say. People who are not making changes like you. So if you've got people like that around you who are constantly feeding you this sort of comment, it's possibly time to have a little look at your general support network and maybe find some people that are supportive of what you're doing.
A lot of it just comes down to some of those people. It's not necessarily just that they're envious, they just don't understand it. So like parents are a great example. They're from a completely different generation. If you look at like the people that were your parents' role models and inspirations, they're very different to like our role models and inspirations. Then they're going to be very different to our children's role models and inspirations. It's completely generational with stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this thing, remember, this is true. Remember, you're a product of the 5 people closest to you. So have a look at the 5 people in your closest network, and you'll probably find that you're very similar to those 5 people that you hang around the most with. So if those 5 people are complete drainers, then it's probably worth having a little bit of think about extending your social network.
We've said before, haven't we, that like you should rely on different people for different things.
Yeah.
Okay, don't just rely on the same people for the same stuff all the time. If relying on them makes you feel worse and crap about a situation.
Yeah.
People don't get the gym, and don't rely on them for support in the gym. Okay. If you say you compete in bodybuilding, for example, you don't then start relying on people who don't compete in bodybuilding because they don't understand it.
No.
They don't understand the concept of it and everything that goes into it.
Very true. Yeah.
Treat yourself how you would treat a friend. This is like what I would tell a lot of friends when they ask for advice on like certain situations. It's like, what would you do in this situation if it was happening to me? What advice would you give me? And sometimes I think we don't speak to ourselves in that way. We're great at giving advice, but then if we were to look at taking our own advice in the same way, we don't.
We're really hypercritical of ourselves. You talk to yourself in such a negative way that if you actually thought about what you say to yourself, and you wouldn't say that to a friend.
No.
You really wouldn't, would you?
Way.
Yeah.
Something else that can help is giving yourself some credit. Okay, we're always making to-do lists, things we need to do. But what about what you've done so far? What about where you started from to where you are now? What have you done in that time frame? Give yourself credit for the actions that you have done.
The progress you've made.
The progress you've made and the little mini goals that you have reached.
Yeah. Stop being so down on yourself. So yeah, people treat you the way you treat yourself. That's very true.
Treat yourself as your friend.
Yeah. And you'll find other people will fall into line with that. If you treat yourself terribly, you'll probably find people around you just going to mirror that, to be fair, and you'll see that in life.
Who's the one person you spend the most time with? Yourself. Okay, if you can't get confidence from yourself, if you can't get happiness from yourself, if you can't get self-belief, it's going to be a struggle, because there are always going to be times where you need to rely on yourself for motivation, discipline and confidence.
Yeah, so true.
So be nice to yourself.
Yeah. Be nice to yourself.
Cool to be kind to yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, last little tip, exchange attitude for gratitude. So you might be thinking, how can gratitude change your life? Well, would you believe gratitude is actually strongly correlated with optimism? So people who tend to be more optimistic are just generally a lot happier. So if you just see some gratitude and things around you, probably find generally you just become a lot happier. What they found in studies is that people who kept a daily gratitude journal were actually 15% more optimistic and therefore obviously happier. So just maybe start writing things down that you're grateful for. I often tell my clients, if they're struggling to sleep, maybe write a gratitude journal before bed. Write some of the stuff they're grateful for in life. It could be little things. Or maybe write the things you'd like to see happening. You know, and just almost act like it's happened, and it probably will then happen.
Yeah, you can do it 2 ways. So like on the morning, you know, write things that you are grateful for in your life in general, and then on an evening, switch it up a bit and maybe write what you were grateful to have happened to you that day.
Yeah, it really helps, just puts you in that positive mindset.
Yeah, mindset's a big thing.
Massive. I mean, this is another thing. We've all been in this situation. We're sat in the car, we're in a traffic jam, we're late for a really important meeting, the traffic's everywhere, we're up the person in front of us backside, and we're stressed out. It's not helping anybody. You're really not going to get to the meeting any faster by getting stressed out like that. So maybe in that moment, just try and find some gratitude in the things around you. Even little things, like I said, like your health, your family, thinking about the fact that you have food on the table every night, and the sun shining, whatever it is. Just think about something that makes you happy. Because in that situation where you're sat in the traffic queue and the traffic's building up around you, you're not going to make it go any faster by getting stressed out.
No.
So yeah.
It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Probably a bit of car crash if we get that irate about
exactly. It's really not going to help. So that's our 5 tips in body confidence and making yourself feel better about yourself.
Don't just apply to body confidence though. Generally, it's just improving your confidence, full stop. If you are more confident, you are generally going to be more confident in your body because you're in just like a happier headspace with a more positive mindset. Yeah.
So we hope that helped. I hope you can put some of them into practice. Even if you just take one thing from this little video, you can put it in practice and feel better that it's been worth our time putting this out. Obviously guys, remember, you've got to now subscribe to our channel and like this video. And obviously if you ring the little bell notification so you get notified when our next one comes up, we're going to try and put these up at least weekly. So watch out, we'll be doing loads of content. And if you've got anything you'd like to see, just put a comment below and we'll action it.
Tackling new topics each and every week. We got things that you guys and gals struggle with.
Yeah,
that's the main aim of this. Alright, to give you tools that you can use to, you know, just make the most of your health and fitness and I suppose your life in general.
So right, See you next time.